This episode of the Corcoran Entertainment Show is brought to you by Black Box Prompter. Are you a musician tired of being tethered to your tablet or music stand? Do you long to connect with your audience on a deeper level, but find yourself constantly glancing down at your lyrics and chords? Then I highly recommend Black Box Prompter, the smart and stealthy lyrics and chords teleprompter designed to liberate musicians from the stage clutter. This innovative device is perfect for bands, hobbyists jamming out in the garage, touring pros rocking arenas, and even houses of worship looking to elevate their services. It discreetly displays your lyrics and chords, allowing you to maintain eye contact with your audience, adding an extra layer of authenticity and connection to your performance. Don't let distractions hold you back. Unleash your full potential and create a more powerful connection with your audience with Black Box Prompter. Click the link in our episode description and use the promo code Corcoran at checkout for 10% off your purchase. Black Box Prompter, the smart teleprompter built for musicians by musicians. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Corcoran Entertainment Show. I am your host, Frankie Corcoran. Coming at you on another Thursday. Happy to be here again for another Thursday episode in insane heat wave. If you guys are wondering why there's a loud noise, well, it's a fan in the background. It's like 40. It's just like crazy. So it's very hot. So yeah, everybody just do what you can. Stay hydrated wherever you are. Stay hydrated, stay warm, whatever you got to do. Yeah, got a little something in my throat there. I'm not sure what it is. Could just be the weather, whatever. But I got a great one for you guys today. This one here, I was super excited to book this one. He is an actor, musician, classical musician too, plays the violin, and he just recently gained some recognition for his role on The Walking Dead: Dead City in season 2. His character Victor was in, if you guys are wondering which episodes he was in, if anyone's looking to check it out, he was in the first 2 episodes of season 2. The first episode is called, I got it up here, Power Equals Power is episode 1, and episode 2, Another Shitty Lesson. It's funny now where AMC is willing to now put profanity in the titles now. Before they didn't. But it's a new age. We're all adults. This is a TV show, or these are TV shows where people get eaten live, heads bashed in, but they can't put swear words anywhere. It's whatever. It is what it is. That's a network thing. Whatever. But Logan Schmucker, I'm very, very. This was such a great conversation. Just a great dude. He was just so fun to chat with. Talked about a lot of things, and we even went off on a couple tangents too. And then it was a point where I'm like, how do we get back to where we were? Yeah, I was just blown away, and he was so funny, and he was so enthusiastic to be here. And so enjoy the conversation, this special episode for Thursday. And so without further ado, guys, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the podcast today. All right, hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Corcoran Entertainment Show. I am your host, Frankie Corcoran, and today I am joined by a jack of all trades with regards to performing. This guy does it all. He's an actor, he's a violinist, just a musician in general. He's done so much amazing stuff. Very happy to have him on here today. Been working in TV, film, movies, you name it, he's done it. Logan Schmucker. Logan, how's it going, man?
Hey, very good, man. Thanks for having me.
Yes, it's such an honor to have you on here. And just what an amazing, I always really admire people who, they're not just one thing. Like, they're not just like, I want to be just an actor or I want to be just a musician. You are able to do, multiple types of acting and also music as well, too. How important is it to be, multifaceted in this business? Like, especially if this is something that you're going to pursue as like a career, how important is it to have like multiple different talents?
The world has expanded so much, and expansion, all these things, we crave uniqueness, and we also live, it's so funny to look at the industry, how it's changed, and how it's a lot of times, it demands people can like either the classic stories of people in audition rooms where they're like looking left and right, and everybody looks like them, all that, and just like being true to yourself, being unique. And I know, however many business classes where you go to for acting, it's like you need to find your niche. And like walking your own path is so important, and we need that. And it's also like because the artists that resonate with us are usually the ones that walk their own path, their own lights. Like like fucking David Bowie, he did everything. Guys like that that just they built the path they walked on. Um, I'm so lucky that I did violin early enough in the time where I could absorb those lessons, and then found my way into acting. Even though I always knew I wanted to be an actor. Um, I think that answers the question. Yeah, I can keep going riffing on other stuff too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thankfully it's not radio, so it's just like, yeah,
right.
it's not like, oh shit, we got 2 minutes left. We can't talk.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's really good. And then also the fact that you're like the being a violinist and learning the violin and stuff, it's also allowed you to, of course, in The Walking Dead Dead City, where your character plays the violin, and then that's
Yeah.
kind of, spoiler alert, of course, for anybody, I put that in the intro. That plays a big part in your character's demise and stuff.
Oh
So I
yeah.
think that's really, really, it's so neat that they're willing to incorporate those types of like maybe not just necessarily like Walking Dead. I'm sure there's other shows like I know Better Call Saul, when they did Michael McKean. They had the amazing Michael McKean on Better Call Saul. And it was, he's such an amazing singer. Let's just find some excuse to get him to sing. So they had him do a karaoke scene just because it's Michael McKean and he's a great singer. So it's great, when or like directors and producers and writers are willing to write certain things for certain actors because they know they shine in that. When you joined Dead City,
Right.
is that something that was always part of the character of Victor, or is that something that just kind of came like, oh shit, you play the violin? Well, here we go. Let's try it this way.
Well, no, actually, when I got the sides, it was for a violin playing character, and they it's actually kind of absurd, and it's also a compliment to the writers that you're asking that question because it was so insane when I read the monologue when I like for the first time that like at the top of episode 2 when he's talking to Negan trying to uplift his spirits. It was so surreal to read something that I felt like I could have written myself. Like it was insane. Even like I know there was they might have cut it, but there was even talk about how he wanted to play soccer, and I played soccer in high school too. So it was like so weirdly particular to me. Um, and I remember I was texting Eli Jornet, the executive producer, and like after we wrapped and stuff, and I was like, "Thank you so much for this because it's weird. It's so weird how it validated a lot of the trials and tribulations in my life." Um, and he's like, yeah, honestly, as soon as we saw that first tape you sent us, we knew that you had to play this guy. So that was so really freaking, it's wild how the universe works, you know what I mean? Um, yeah, and it's a beautiful thing, to capture people's authenticity and capturing the other sides of people and being an industry that can allow for these unique, like crazy tapestries of people to exist in it more and more, you know?
It's truly fantastic, and I love, as you said, it's really just a testament to the people involved that we like. Some shows, whenever a certain actor can't do a part and they have to switch it around, and it actually works kind of better, and
Mm.
it's it's a testament to the behind the scenes work from all the people involved, writers, directors, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of
There,
starting out, so you were classically trained violinist.
yes.
Is that come before the acting? I mean, like you said, you always wanted to be an actor, but was
Oh yeah.
violin and music, was that the first thing that you had learned?
It was my mom's idea. My sister played violin, so she was like, "You should play violin too." So I started taking violin lessons, and it just like literally, it's like almost verbatim. Like I was very like I fought it because you know what kid wants to be in a practice room playing violin? Like I wanted to run and play outside and you know go on adventures with friends and all that stuff. But there was also an interesting draw to it, and I kept practicing and. It kind of deepened my appreciation, and there's also a certain level of expression of you know where words fail, music does something else. It made me a way better listener, made me much more detail oriented, structured, all these things. And also I had to audition a lot, and you know it was actually in that big climax episode where Victor's playing the Bach for the Dama and he's kind of shaking. That wasn't in the script. I put the shaking in because I used to do that for recitals. I used to get so nervous that my bow arm would shake, and my teacher would always try to fix it, but I was so anxious, and so it was kind of like an homage to my younger self to be like to do that because, you know, it was also about Victor's own lesson was like focus on Bach, and it's just another shitty lesson. So just focus on what you're doing, breathe, and nothing will be that bad. So that was like Victor literally like living out his own lesson to bestow that to Negan, you know? Like if you can find your happy place and you can focus on that in the middle of a storm, then everything's gonna be all right in life.
Yes, and unfortunately, you know how
Yeah,
that lesson
right.
turned out. Unfortunately, here's a great
Right.
lesson. Boom, we're gonna cut your throat now.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
That
it's
was
yeah, right. Because it's like writing, right. But it makes sense because the function of the character was to bestow that lesson. And so once that function is done, you either evolve the function or give him something else to do or you know, or kill him off. And in like you know, like shows like Walking Dead or Game of Thrones, you know, it's like it's a very effective, visceral, you know, a death. You get the lesson and you get the death. And it also shows a rebirth of the character that you're bestowing the lesson to.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
When you're I mean, obviously, being on two episodes of Dead City. Well, actually, I feel like if you're going on or like joining a show like The Walking Dead or
Yeah.
Game of Thrones or anything, it's a show that you can't really go into thinking, I think I could be on here for multiple seasons. It's that's not the type of show it is. It's not a sitcom where you can be on three episodes and then you can recur the next season. Like it doesn't work
Yeah.
that way sometimes. I mean, like Walking Dead, it's just you could go at any time, and that's kind of how it is. When you audition for like certain roles, like whether it was Dead City or some of the other stuff that you've done, even some of the theater work that you've done too, what's kind of like the main thing that you kind of go into thinking like, could be or like maybe not necessarily like theater because I mean if you're killed off it's like okay it's fine I'll just be back for the next show
Right.
but
Yeah.
but like
See you tomorrow, guys.
yeah
So
exactly
take a
well
shower.
shit
See you tomorrow.
my character's dead okay guys I'll be
Yeah.
back
All right.
tomorrow
Okay.
uh
Alas, poor Yorick. All right, we'll do it tomorrow. See you.
exactly there's no death dinner it's just I'll see you
Yeah.
tomorrow and then we'll do a cast party
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
but for like TV and stuff like that is there anything in particular that you go for of like I this is a show where I know I could die at any time or this is a show where I know I can work my way up or is it one of those things of just take whatever job that you can get and just see who notices you.
Well, we're in an interesting climate, right, for acting. You know, it's recovering from COVID, recovering from writers' strikes, and also this. I mean, there's no way in hell I would have ever turned this down. You know, this is like we're talking The Walking Dead. This is insane. So, um, but also like the kind of worlds you want to exist in. I think that's really what it is. Like, what are the worlds that you could see yourself playing in for a while? I think that's the longevity because also like you can tell right away in like you know like the vibes, whatever. You know what I mean? The vibes of a space. You can tell if you fit in the wavelengths, and yeah, and it's for that. It's kind of like surfing. Or like you, I also have used the allegory of like, you know, you're a spaceman flying through space and you never know what planet you're going to end up in their gravitational field for a while and then you might land and then you have to learn the customs of the planet and all the trees are different and all the animals are different and the people talk different and you have to learn all that and then you go back to space and then you're like, whoa, that was different. And then you go back to the planet you were at before and then the planet before was different because the other planet was different. You know what I mean? So I'm still at the point where I want to experience a lot of different planets. So you know, because there's so much to explore. So I guess that's a really, I guess, sidewards something answer to that question. There you
What a
go.
great answer, nonetheless. That I'm looking for a straightforward answer. No I'm kidding.
Yeah. Right, right, right. Come on, dude. Come on.
Yeah, what the hell
Yes
are
or
we
no?
doing?
What
What?
are you doing?
Yeah, just say yes or no. Yeah,
Yeah.
this would be a very boring interview. So, how was it
Yeah.
on The Walking Dead? It was good. Yeah, was it good? Yeah, what was your favorite part?
I
Like,
had a good time. Everybody was nice. I got to eat some food and I had a trailer and then I went home.
that's when people are gonna think that, like, oh shit, this is an AI guest.
Right, 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 right. Oh my gosh. Oh
Because it's
my
audio
gosh, that's
only. People,
terrifying. Right.
it's audio only. People might think, oh, like, you can just pull any actor in the world and, like, look, Frankie's having a conversation with them, and I'm like, well, no, that's not the case. If I wanted to do that, if I had the
Hey,
time to do
Negan's
that,
here. You have any questions for me? It's Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan, or, like, I don't know, podcast guests who get lots of traction, like Donald Trump gets lots
Yeah,
of
yeah,
traction. I
right.
would just do
Oh
the
gosh.
AI Donald Trump. Like, hey guys, I
You're
got
you're
Donald Trump
you're up in Canada, yeah.
up in Canada. Yep, that's me.
Oh, I am so happy for you that you get to be north of the center of the eye of the storm.
Oh God, unbelievable, unbelievable what's going on
Uh,
there. But the happy
God.
thoughts.
Yes, happy thoughts, hope and serenity to all. Peace, white light, save everybody, please. Grace, grace, divine
uh,
presence, save
this
us.
this episode will never air.
It's so funny. And we're gonna cut
That's
all that.
no, no, I'm keeping it all in. Um,
Heck yeah.
speaking of AI, and we were
Yeah.
talking about writer strikes and actor strikes. As an actor yourself, and with just how sorry, voice crack. How
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Yes,
my
I am a man and
my
I lift weights.
my balls just dropped.
Yes, yes. This is Frankie. This is how I've always sounded. I am Frankie now.
Yeah. Hey guys, today my guest is Logan Schmucker. Uh,
Yes. Oh, whoa, that was crazy what just happened.
what happened
Anyways,
there? Oh Jesus, I
yes,
can't get back.
I can't change it back. Well, this is me now.
This is how I talk.
Welcome back to Frankie 2.0.
Where his balls
This,
are
right.
dropped.
This summer, Frankie says relax. Don't do it.
That's good. You sound like know who you sound like? You sound like the Honest Trailers guy.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh. What's another one? 28 years later. Coming this summer, 28 light years later, a sci-fi adaptation of the of the Alex Garland movie.
Holy shit, that actually sounded like that actually sounded just like him. Holy
Oh,
God,
thanks.
that was really good actually.
It's Nerf or nothing. I got quite a few of these, and that's not
Dead.
AI, I promise.
Yes, exactly. Like, yeah. People are
Yeah,
gonna hear this and go, "What are they talking about?"
yeah, right.
But with AI and, like, the strike and stuff like that, as an actor yourself, what's your kind of take on AI, how it's kind of taken over? I mean, there's lots of people who say, "Oh, let's just not talk about it." Well, it's one of those things.
Yeah,
It's hard not to talk about it. It's kind of like how people want to just block out the pandemic and pretend like
yeah,
it doesn't exist. It's like, well, guys, it's part of history now, and we lived it. So
yeah.
it's one of those things that won't go away.
Right.
So and same with AI. AI is everywhere now. So as an actor yourself, how do you see AI and, sort of like the pros and cons of it?
Um. Okay. Well, on one side, right, we have AI is an extremely effective tool for young filmmakers. I will say that. Um, when budget is tight, and it's really effective when it comes to, like, I want to create storyboards, things like that. We're talking more of like the mundane structural things that you can have to do. Like when it comes to creating pitch deck, I think those things can really help smaller filmmakers really slim down the amount of time commitment it takes to get a project off its feet, which is a huge blessing. I hope we keep them as just tools. I know I've read however many studies that are talking about how, you know, hold on a sec. Sorry, it's also 100 degrees over here in New York. So, So if some of my brain cells, if you can hear sizzling, that's most of my brain because it's basically on the Bunsen burner. No, but I read this article that was just talking about how if you like let's say you're writing a paper and you write the paper itself first, or like you write down bullet points and you use the AI as like structural and like technical aid. I think it's a beautiful tool in that regard. Because I mean, even though I've written a couple short films and I've been on the Bunsen burner for a while, and it's crazy some of the things I've found that helped me just like generate like a storyboard. Then all of a sudden you start to see your dreams come true in like 2 seconds, and that's very surreal. But then there's the responsibility of like knowing, okay, this is only like managerial admin work that I should use this for, and then I want artists to still make what they practice their crafts to do because that's great. But then you also have the hilarious stuff of like, I don't know if you've seen those Yeti vlogs on Instagram where they're AI generated of this like, hey, what's up, Chad? Well, I just got a brewski and I'm going down to like, the Appalachian
Oh
State.
yes.
Th- Those are fucking hilarious. So from that, it's like it's really abundant brain rot, and I really like that. But it's how do you please use brain rot responsibly? I guess that becomes the new phrase.
That's a good. That's a really good way to put it. It feels like right now you guys can't see this, but he's like showing me his crib,
Oh yeah, sorry. I was just
turning on his light.
repositioning. Yeah. It's getting a little
He just
dark.
got into this position where he was gonna like show me around. All right, guys,
Oh
welcome to my
yeah.
crib.
Hey guys, welcome back to my this is Yeti Vlogs, and I'm going to show you my new apartment. Welcome back to MTV Cribs. I'm the Yeti. Yeah.
with Logan the Schmuck. No.
I am quite hairy. So maybe I can be Yeti guy.
But
Hey,
like
what's up, chat?
I love the AI videos of like this was something that I would just listen to on repeat. Sometimes it was the presidents playing Minecraft and they
Oh
used
my
the
gosh,
AI.
totally. And they're
Those
like roasting each other.
so freaking
They're like,
good.
Obama, what are you talking about, Obama? I can play Minecraft way better than you could ever do it in your life. It's like, oh, well, Donald, what's wrong with you? I just got diamond armor and a diamond pickaxe, so you can shove it up your butt.
And then a
And,
Sleepy Joe just comes
yeah.
in. He's like,
Hey
"What game are we
guys, I just,
playing?"
yeah. What game is this? Are we playing Pong? Go to sleep, Sleepy Joe. The NES was like 40 years ago. You haven't woken up. Donald, let's play Fortnite, and I will get a 5 kill streak on your sorry ass. Yeah, you wish, Barack. Okay, I could just do it myself. You don't need
This is
AI.
good.
Just
Why do we need AI? Just
yeah,
you do. Oh my God, you do so many good friggin' impressions. Oh my
this
God.
summer, Obama versus Donald Trump in the Fortnite event of the season. And then you got the Darth Vader thing going on. Did you see that? How they had Darth Vader. Um, they had like an AI generative Darth Vader like intelligence in the Fortnite game, so you could like talk to Darth Vader, and he would say insane stuff. Like Spike Spiegel, we should go back to the directive. And then Spike
Oh
Spiegel
really?
from
Gee.
yeah, it's crazy. And there was like a lawsuit over it because they used James Earl Jones' voice.
Oh really? Geez, I haven't kept
Yeah,
up with Fortnite. I'll be honest. There's some days I want to get back into it. Like I
yeah,
played it for like a month, and then I was just kind of like, it's fun, but it's just I'm more of a PUBG. Like I
sure.
like the realistic royale type games.
Yeah. I
But
only played because my cousins. I swear. I promise. It's because my cousins played. My cousins were really into it, and so at a time I got back in so we could all play together online. Because yeah, one of my cousins, I call him Johnny Buckets. He always tells us to hit the gwitty, so we always hit the gwitty. You know what I mean? Shout out to Johnny Buckets.
Johnny Buckets, if you're listening to this right now,
Oh no way!
can you imagine? Oh my gosh.
He's gonna flip.
Oh geez. Oh
I
oh,
love
it's
that kid.
fine. We're
I
giving
love that
you
kid.
we're giving you publicity.
Oh, Johnny Buckets is going crazy right now. Great, going crazy on Fortnite. Uh, yeah, I haven't played in a while though. I didn't play with Darth Vader. Like I only get that because Instagram knows the algorithm about AI. So I just saw that stuff.
Yeah, you see lots of like I binged all of Young Sheldon earlier this year
Oh,
because of Instagram and Facebook Shorts and Reels. Like literally, I was just like skimming
Spoiling
through,
everything.
spoiling everything, and I'm just like, why am I just sitting here? I'm sitting here laughing, watching the show, and I'm like,
Yeah.
why am I doing that? Why should I just watch the actual show on Netflix? So that's one of the great
Oh,
things that those reels have done for me is that it pushed me to like just okay, instead of just sitting here spending all this time watching these shows on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, where people are illegally uploading them and just putting clips and shorts and stuff. Just
right.
do just watch Netflix. You know what I mean? Watch it
Yeah.
on Netflix and just watch the
Right.
whole show instead of giving people the attraction who are not supposed to
Right.
be
Or just give them
uploading
the
that.
highlights. Just getting the like 30-second highlights of the best parts of the series. And so you just, it just furthers that whole dopamine addiction where you just like, let's just get the highs of the series. And that was actually a really surreal moment where I saw a YouTube reel of the Dead City moment when I got killed and like seeing the edits and stuff and like holy shit, that was like like that was probably May 12th when those started dropping, and then my friends were sending them. They're like, dude, they have fan edits of you and Negan looking at each other longingly, and I'm like, no way. And that was like,
My favorite one
yeah.
was someone commented that oh poor Negan lost his boyfriend or something like that. I'm just like
Oh man, no, not like that, guys.
I thought that was so
um
funny. Someone just or it was somebody commented. I can't remember if that's the real you're talking about, but somebody commented and oh god, I'm paraphrasing it now, but it was something like I haven't watched The Walking Dead in years, but is Negan gay now? They thought
Oh
that was
my
his
God.
boyfriend. I'm like, oh my God, that's just like,
People, those are the same people that are like, oh my gosh, are Negan and Maggie gonna do it at the end of the series? Oh my gosh.
oh,
Uh,
God. Is that okay? I gotta ask you something here about that.
yeah.
Is that something that is ever talked about amongst the actors and the crew and stuff? Do they ever talk about Maggie and Negan? That whole no.
No. No. No. Yeah. I mean, you have so much to do in a day, and obviously, when I'm like, I only have a little bit of time where I get to work. Like, I mean, I was working with Jeff, Friedeen, Morgan, like most of the days. And I'm not going to be like, hey, by the way, do you think Negan and Maggie would ever do it? And I'm like, because I just don't. I'm sure he gets those questions from other people, so I would not want to ask. Yeah, you know, shit.
Tell me about him working with Jeffrey Dean Morgan because I think he's one of the best actors I've seen, in a long time for TV,
Oh,
and like just Negan is probably one of my favorite characters like ever. You got to work closely with him. What was it like working with JDM?
oh, he was a dream, man. Like, I've been a fan of his too, and I just remember seeing on our day at a days that it was my first scene was going to be between him and Joko, who plays the Croat.
Oh, Croat,
And
yeah.
it was, yeah, so the first scene, I'm like between those two guys, and they're talking about, like the stories about walker meat, oh man, we replaced all the food with walker meat. The Negan, how are you? Oh, you must be so happy that your enemies.
That's a good
Um,
Croat impression too, actually.
Thank you. Well, I mean, I want to get it right too, because I remember he told me that voice is very much based on his father's voice because his father still had the very heavy Croatian accent. And so he's basically doing his dad's voice when he plays the Croat. And
Oh,
I was
okay.
thinking, wow, that's so cool. And it's also like beautiful and really sweet. Because I remember I did a play in like 20, I was doing the Crucible and I was playing John Proctor. And I remember I was kind of doing my dad's voice a little bit because at the time, blah, 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 blah. But, back to the question, he's fucking awesome. I was terrified the first day. He rolls out of his cool trailer that he drives himself, dressed as Negan. I had just kind of gotten my clothes on for the first time, since wardrobe, where we were kind of figuring out crafting Victor and all that stuff. And then he rolls out of his trailer with that cool biker jacket and the jeans and his boots. And I'm just like, holy fuck. And then he just goes, Logan. I'm like, no way. He just fucking knows me by my face. That's insane. Um, and it was awesome. And we made some jokes and we were talking about family and he was talking about, You know how he's got like an estate somewhere in upstate New York, or a farm rather. He's got a farm in upstate New York somewhere where it's peaceful living, and just talking about family and stuff put me at ease. And then also, you try to be mindful when you're on set, because he's also a producer on this too. So he's got decisions he has to make too, and he ultimately a lot of his choices are gonna go, through the whole echelon of people. So he's also being mindful. He's wearing a lot of hats, but it was really great. And it was funny too because I just remember like he's like, oh man, I watched your audition tape for your callback, and I'm like, no way. And he's like, him and Lauren Cohen had like hid his PAs, like on Zoom, like we're doing right now on
Right.
Zoom. But they like hid the picture, so it just said like PA. So they watched my callback, and I'm so happy because I probably would have spontaneously combusted if I saw them on the other side of the Zoom during the callback. So that was really cool, and cheeky. And he's like, man, I just remember seeing you. And I'm like, damn, he kind of looks like me, but way younger. And I'm like, damn, that's what? Thank you.
Was he doing the
That was,
lean too? The knee?
oh, yeah. He just like, hey, well, pardon my fucking French. Yeah.
Hot diggity
Yeah.
dog, that was a good audition.
Eeny fucking meeny miny mo. Let's pick, yeah, that's how he chose me. There's two actors left probably. And then he was probably like, eeny meeny miny mo. Let's choose the fucking person. And then yeah,
Let's
that's the other
choose
guy.
this. Let's choose this schmuck right here.
Fucking yeah, 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 yeah. I've gotten that plenty in my
I was
life.
gonna say, I was gonna ask that. Do you get that a lot?
Oh my gosh. What's funny, people in my family have like, weaponized it for their Instagrams, like whether it's like what the schmuck or, stuff like that. Schmucking good. There's every single one you can imagine that definitely they exist. Yeah.
Oh, well, everyone's last name or name, everyone will find something for it.
Oh,
Like
for
no matter
sure.
what it is. Like mine's Corcoran, and it was Cochran. People thought it was Cochran for a long time. So
I'm sorry.
they called on the PA one time in a middle school, Frankie Cochran, to the principal's office. Like, oh
Oh
God,
no.
everyone's laughing. I'm like, oh geez, that's embarrassing.
That
There's
probably
clearly an
never,
R in there,
yeah,
lady. Like, I don't know why you didn't see that. Uh,
yeah. That probably stuck for a while.
yeah, never got over that. That
Damn.
was one of my traumas. No,
Yeah, right. Oh gosh. The last name traumas.
last name
But,
traumas.
you
Uh,
know,
did you
there's some
ever give Victor a last name? Because I don't know if he had a last name on the show, or like, did you give any sort of backstory for him at all, or was it? I mean, you had that monologue, of course, where he kind of talked about his character talked about when he played the violin and stuff. But did you
yeah.
come up with anything else for his story to kind of help you play it better, or?
Yeah, well, it's funny. There was a lot that was naturally okay, I'll put it this way. I was working a 9 to 5 job that I really didn't like. It was like a desk job, and it was you know, I did not want to be there. I mean, they're very sweet people and all that, but like, I mean, the very sweet people, the very sweetest people. No, it's just, I couldn't help it. I just sound like his voice is in my head. Um, it was just like a desk job, and I was just, not really happy there. And I was with a group of people that I didn't really identify with, and I was just kind of doing it to get by. And this apocalypse had happened of COVID and then the writer's strike and all these things are going on. And from time to time, like I know one of the saving graces would be I would talk with some characters who would come to the office. They were just such interesting people, and I would end up like chit-chatting with them and befriending them. And then when you take all that, what I just described, that's kind of the circumstances for which Victor lives in. He's survived an apocalypse, kind of found himself in a group of people that he doesn't really identify with, which is the Barazi. He doesn't really give a shit about what they do. It's just either that or dying. All he wants to do is really play violin. He's an artist at heart. Um, and they do a lot of weird stuff, and he tries to just kind of, file rank in when it's necessary, keep his mouth shut so he doesn't, cause enough ripples, but also he really doesn't want to be there. But it's also pretty shitty circumstances. And then he gets stationed to take like watch over this guy, Negan. He doesn't really know much about him, but he's like this kind of sad old man. So I feel like there's a lot where I could just naturally get into those circumstances. And there was a day, I will say, there was a day where I just walked all through Manhattan. I remember it was like an insane amount of steps that day. It was like 25,000 steps that day. Um, and I was just walking through all Manhattan and just picturing what that would look like in like an apocalyptic setting and trying to like forge little memories for Victor. What's his relationship to this area or this area? And I remember going to St. Patrick's Cathedral, because I think that's kind of the parallel cathedral that they have in Dead City is St. Patrick's Cathedral. I remember just going in. It was a really beautiful sunny day. Actually, I took a video of St. Patrick's Cathedral because the sun was shining. It was so beautiful. And I was just thinking about that place and being in the pews and that being like a place of, because like the crypts that we're in, that's in the basement of that cathedral. So it's just really interesting to like walk through all that and create little stories and memories, all that, which is a kind of like a landscape that you can just like live in when you're there on the day. Try to tap into those memories just to stay alive in the circumstances.
The Corkin Entertainment Show is brought to you by Podmatch, the ultimate platform designed to connect podcast hosts with prospective guests effortlessly. Are you a podcaster looking to elevate your show to new heights? Or perhaps you're a guest hoping to share your story with a broader audience. Whatever your podcasting goals are, we have the perfect solution for you. Podmatch simplifies the entire process of discovering guests for your show or finding podcasts to feature your expertise. Now imagine a platform where you can easily match with like-minded creators tailored specifically to your niche. With Podmatch, you can effortlessly network with influencers and thought leaders, all while staying true to your podcast vision. There are a multitude of ways that Podmatch can help you grow your brand. You can be part of a thriving community of podcasters and potential guests. Engage, collaborate, and grow together. If you're ready to experience these fantastic benefits for yourself, we invite you to join Podmatch today. Head over to www.joinpodmatch.com/Corkin Entertainment and sign up right now for only $6 a month. That's right, you heard me right, $6 a month. Join the Podmatch family today and watch your podcast soar to new altitudes. Thank you for tuning into the Corkin Entertainment Show, and happy podcasting. No, exactly. And I really admire that way of, it's really good for for actors to give, like, even especially with theater. I mean, like, whether the backstories get elaborated on or anything in the show, that's kind of irrelevant, because it's just as long as, like, you do what you have to do to get in that mindset. Like, in your mind, Victor's probably thinking about all the different, maybe there was a place in Manhattan that he really really loved, and he's thinking about that. He's thinking about family who have gone, so whether we elaborate on it in the show or not, I mean, we do elaborate a little bit with the whole violin story. But it's great for you to get into the mindset of the character, and I really really admire that way of just developing your character and getting into it. When you got the call or got the role, did you know immediately that it was only going to be 2 episodes, or did you just kind of find out like the day before, or how'd that go?
Well, I didn't know the extent of it. I got the role on a Friday. Actually, at 11:11 p.m., I got an email from my agent that confirmed it. I was like watching like the new Willy Wonka. Actually, it was really funny. Um, but it was earlier in the day. I had gotten a call from him, and he was like, "So you're the director's choice, but we have to get network approval, so it's not particularly set yet." And so I was excited, but also more terrified because, like when you're right there. You also hear the stories about a lot of people who get right there and then they go another direction and there's nothing you can do about it. It's complete release. And then I got it and that was awesome, but I really didn't know what it was. And then it was 2 days later, it was Saturday passed, then Sunday came, just like the Bible. And so the Saturday passed, and Sunday came, the seventh day. Just kidding, but so Sunday came, and then I was on the phone with my parents, um, just kind of doing our like weekendly check-in, and I get a text, and it's Eli Droney, and it's like, "Hey Logan, it's Eli from The Walking Dead," just like as you do, and then it's this whole like, "We're really excited to work with you, excited to have you on the team and help make this come alive. I just wanted to actually talk about some of the music bits with you, so if we could start working on that right away, and then I'll be able to send some scripts to you." So we started talking about the music, and it was mostly my input. He just let me choose all the pieces, and those are all set, and then. He sent me the script and I started reading, and he was also telling me a bit on the phone. He's like, "Okay, so here's the kind of the role. Here's what's going to be going on. Um, so you're going to be doing this, and then there's going to be a battle sequence, and then Negan, blah blah blah. And then they're going to know that Negan cares about you, and they use you as leverage." And I'm just like, "What fucking reality am I in? Is this like real? Is this a dream?" Because it's like I could not have tried to. It sounded like fan fiction that I wrote if I had ever wanted to be in The Walking Dead. So it's like, what? And then, faster than the morning comes and the moon follows, uh, we filmed it and it was over. And then I'm just like, wow, did that even happen? And now I'm sitting on this couch and it's like a year and some change because it was June 6th when we wrapped. So it's like a year and 18 days since we wrapped it. And I'm like, was that real? I don't know. But we're talking about it, so it must be real.
I who stabbed me? Was it Lisa Emery? Like did
Yeah.
she really stab me
Wait,
in the throat? Like
I
did
thought
that?
she was from Ozark.
Yes, that's right. I still have to catch up on Ozark, but I know when she first appeared, she all the comments were saying, "Oh, that's the bitch for." Someone said that's the bitch from Ozark. I'm like, "Oh,
Oh
so she
man.
must be a villain on Ozark."
Oh yeah, she's so good in Ozark too. So I watched all of Ozark, and so when I found out not only am I working with like Jeffrey Dean Morgan, but Jelko and then Lisa Emery, you're just like, what the actual? And you get killed by her, and so she was the first person I met. I met her in the elevator. I was really nervous to like, should I actually talk to her or not? And so I kind of took a risk. I'm like, dude, you're in the show, so don't be like shy about it. So I was like, excuse me. Then she turns around and she has this real like presence about her. Like it's a quiet presence that just draws you in naturally. And I just remember like getting sucked in. And I was like, whoa. She just has this like you could just get there's all this intensity and she's a very thoughtful person and very gentle and sweet. And was like, "Excuse me," and she turns around, "Hello," and I'm like, are you in the show?" And she's like, "Oh, well, Dead City," and I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Well, yes, I am." I'm like, "Oh, me too." And she's like, "Oh, great. Uh, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, I'm acting in it." And she's like, "Oh, well, who are you playing?" I'm like, "Victor." She's like, "Victor, I kill you." And I'm like, "No way." And that was like the best. And we just got chatting about stuff. Um, and it was just really exciting. And it was funny because like out of all the cast, we had the most time. We were just like at the hotel chilling on weekends, and then we'd like have cereal at breakfast, and we'd just like sit next to each other, talk a little bit, or like see her outside of the hotel and just talk. So she was a very sweet presence, and she was really, yeah, it was really really nice. It was cool.
That's so awesome. Were there
Yeah.
any other actors in the show that you kind of? I mean, like obviously the only ones you really interacted with were Jelko and Jeffrey
Yeah.
and Lisa. But were there any others who you maybe talked to in around the set, like Lauren or Kim
I didn't
Coates
even,
was a great part.
Unfortunately, I wish I didn't get to. I didn't see Kim Coates at all. I didn't see Lauren at all. Um, and I was really bummed about that because they, like in seeing all the press they did beforehand. Oh, Keir Gilchrist, I got to talk with him quite a bit. Um, who played Benjamin Pierce,
Oh,
um, the
the
historian.
historian. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because obviously on the day of the cathedral scene.
He's in there shitting his pants when that happens.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
now that I
So,
remember it, yeah.
yes, there was a couple really funny days where, we're all just sitting in the back of the cathedral, just like having snacks and water and stuff, chilling on trailers, and we're just talking about mundane things. And he was a super nice guy, and um, no, it was so cool. I'm thinking of who else because I know there was another. I mean, it was funny that the Barazzi. There was like I was pretty good friends with a lot of those guys. Um, and we would all be chatting. And then I'm still Facebook friends with a lot of them, so we were all like messaging each other when the stuff was coming out, and we're like, "Oh, dude, I can't wait!" And yeah, it was very sweet. I'm trying to see the one guy's because I know he was one of the Barazzi, but I think he was killed a couple episodes later. Um,
Yeah, because we lost a lot of them
oh
in the
yeah, we did.
finale. I don't know if you saw it or not,
I
but
don't know if you saw. Oh man, what a death for Kim.
oh my gosh, yeah, like literally, I remember as soon as they announced that he was cast in it, I haven't really seen Sons of Anarchy at all.
Yeah.
So I my brother is like a of Anarchy, like he's a huge fan of it. And I said yeah, the actor Kim Coates was cast in Dead City next season. He just went, "Oh, that's good." So, and he honestly, I think he stole the show in season two. I thought
Oh,
Kim
dude.
Coates was absolutely spectacular, and I
Oh
just
yeah.
wish we would have got more of him. Like just fantastic. He truly was.
Yeah. No, seriously, he was so. I mean, he's gonna be good when like they have that first cathedral scene, and he's just sitting there with his like hand on his little
Even that
cane.
was just like that, like that right there. That part
Yeah.
right there was just like the dude's not even saying anything. He's just talking with his eyes, and we're just like, this dude
Drawn
is
to
gonna be
what's going
wicked.
on. Yeah.
So
And
good.
yeah, and
And
it's fun to like bring in all his like New Yorkisms too. Um, when he's like, that's what they call a gentrifying neighborhood, and lines like that just like make fun of New York still. It's so good.
so
Um,
fantastic.
yeah.
Like there's I mean, like, of course, one thing, people say, there's always the people with Walking Dead, I dropped it after this, or I dropped it after that, or I'm not into the spin-offs and this and that. But one thing for sure, you cannot deny the actors are absolutely spectacular. I mean, like, I'm talking to one of them right now.
Thank you,
Um
sir. All of them for sure. No, I mean, especially with when you now that I've been on the other side, when you know that what kind of timelines they're dealing with too, like how much you have to do in a day to actualize these like biblical level stories. There's so much in like the effects and you're seeing while you're filming for the day, they're editing the day before, so they're like always operating on all cylinders. So and it's tight timelines because locations cost money and all this. It's like so crazy to see this well-oiled machine operate. Um, and then to have the actors, just go on and have to just accelerate. Um, under, you don't have that many takes. It's crazy. Like all the crypt stuff that you saw, we did in one day. Um, so both like the little beginning monologue and that scene in the first episode with the cockroach eating and all that stuff, that was all one day. So it's like crazy how much you jam pack into like a 12-hour workday.
That's and correct me if I'm wrong. Apparently, some of those cockroaches, cockroaches. That sounds dirty. Those cockroaches,
Cockroaches.
the cockroaches. That sounds like an STD or something.
This
Um,
summer, cockroaches.
is it true that Jeffrey D. Morgan ate a real cockroach?
Oh yeah, for sure. And it was that was like that was a fun anecdote because I remember seeing that was around Comic-Con where he said that. Um, and it was really special because also they really didn't show any Victor in the Comic-Con stuff. There was like maybe one still image, and I was like, "Oh my God, that's like the first! Oh, that's the first thing where I'm yeah." But then he told the story about the cockroaches, and I'm like, "Oh my God, I was there." Yeah,
It's
like
the
he
Leonardo
totally did.
DiCaprio meme. The him
Yeah,
pointing at that's you.
yeah, yeah, exactly, dude. Oh my, literally in the chair, just. Yeah. But no, so the totally because they had crafted these beautiful and actually kind of delicious like candy cockroaches that we were supposed to eat. They also gave the dried ones, so you because they were all mixed in, you wouldn't know. It would be easier to sell the illusion, right, for the audience. Um, yeah, but Jeffrey Dean Morgan didn't have his glasses, so. And I didn't know he needed them that bad because yeah, he was just eating. I guess it's one of those like Russian roulette things where he just kept choosing the wrong ones, and he's like, "Oh man, these taste awful." And then Michael Zadrozimos, the director's like, "Yeah, but we made like all these like they're like dates and fucking like stuffed with cream and stuff." And everyone's like, "Yeah, Jeff, we made these things." He's like, "Really? Oh fuck, I've just been eating the fake one, the real cockroaches." Um, yeah, and I mean, I try to eat some in solidarity too, but also I try to eat some like while the camera was rolling, just to know what it's like to like really, eat cockroaches for your like lifeblood for a little bit. It's an important thing just to know, like, okay, this is my source of protein, and I gotta know what it's like because it also goes back to the other scene where he's talking about, we had one of those feasts like the olden days, meat like you couldn't believe. Oh my gosh, blah blah blah, and then we switched it with Walker meat, and then, this is a great one again, and you're like, ah,
I love the impressions, man. You're so freaking good at
thank you,
impressions. Like
thank
that's
you. Thank you.
I'm
Uh,
just like, holy crap, that's really good.
well, it also keeps the memories alive. You know what I mean? You want to keep those memories alive forever. So, like the more detail you can get, the longer they'll last.
Oh my God, absolutely. And I mean, like, that is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Like, think of how many people that we know that get to say that I worked on not just a TV show, but, The Walking Dead, which is,
It's a
you know,
legendary show, a game like a world-changing show when it first came out. And it's just what a legacy. And that's where I was so. Yeah. I mean, nervous is one thing. But I was like, shitting bricks because also you want the people to be. You just want people to enjoy it. I did come in with a very like genuine. I just wanted people to like enjoy the show because we kind of need some good stories to help us through these crazy times. And you don't want to make stuff that like upsets people.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like we're making art. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
we're trying to do our best.
that's what it is. And you know that. I mean, like, not just as an actor, but also as a musician and violinist
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
Is it difficult whenever you're pursuing acting or art as a career versus as a hobby? Like, how do you kind of find that balance?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's definitely not easy, especially because I graduated acting school into the global pandemic with, not just me, like my entire, my acting class. We went through the trenches together of acting school, and it's not easy. You're waking up at like 7 a.m., going to acting class, and you're like having to sob and be emotionally available and like access all these things and face these demons, which are already difficult enough. And a lot of people don't even want to do that in their lives. And you're with these people that you forge a really beautiful bond with, and we're all like kind of in this oven, and we're getting shaken up like those old burger. You're just like put the cheese in and just shake it up, and you're just getting ready to get unleashed into the world. Then you go right into a global pandemic. That was really hard for a lot of us. Um, but I was so like, I'm not leaving the city. I'm gonna fight through it. I'm gonna keep, you know, I'm gonna steady the course. Finally, start getting some momentum in the film world. And then the writer's strike happened, and I was almost ready to take a break from acting. And that's where I was at that 9 to 5 job. I'm like, I'm just gonna focus on Muggle shit. I'm just gonna focus on the things that are in front of me, the stability, my health. Focus on those things. Um, and those are good things to focus on, anyways, though, because I think when you do address those things, everything else does fall into place. And so it did, you know. But yeah, oh my gosh, living in New York City is already tough too. So it's like a crucible, man. It's things are getting more expensive. The MTA is expensive, food's expensive, everything's expensive. People want you to work a lot more during your other jobs, and everybody wants a piece of you. And you try to remain true to why you came to New York in the first place. And New York, I don't know. Are we allowed to swear in this?
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
Okay.
we've already sworn on this.
I thought, okay, sure, right, true. But New York fucks you in so many ways you didn't know you could be fucked. So,
And it doesn't even buy you dinner.
yeah, no, it doesn't buy you dinner. It gives you a bill. It fucks you, then bills you. Um,
That's
so
prostitution right there.
yeah, right. There's something about it, and I guess a lot of I don't even know masochistic people come to New York. You know what I mean? Because they just like this, the way it stings. It hurts so good. Yeah, but no, because I've been here for close to 10 years now, and you learn so much from a place like this. Um, and acting is tough. But also, I just know I love it so much. And if you really love it, like the actual doing of the thing, then that takes you pretty far because there's a whole lot of other shit you gotta swallow if you want to attempt to get into the acting world. And it's crazy. But we're here. We're still alive. We're not the Walking Dead. So maybe
That
the
sounded like
Walking
a Rick
Dead,
Grimes speech right there.
right?
That was Rick
Maybe
Grimes.
maybe the Walking Dead was the friends we made along the way. Coral,
Cor-
maybe Coral. The real Walking Dead was the friends we made along the way.
Or that sounds like a speech off some sort of like cheesy movie or something. Like, but it was a
Oh,
great
sure.
speech. It was a great
Thank you.
speech
Thank
because
you.
that's the truth of it. It's acting, uh directing, uh filmmaking in general, theater, it's work. At the end of the day, it's not like it's something where there's nothing, you're not doing nothing. There's never a dull moment.
Right.
Um, but if you love it, that's where the passion comes from it. And it's good. It's always great. I always say it's good to go in with the mindset of I'm just going to do it for the love of it. If
Yeah.
a paycheck comes my way, I'll take it. If it
Yep.
doesn't, well, okay.
It
Um,
will soon.
it will soon.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because the people want it like right away. I mean, how long did it take for you to really, you got noticed in Dead City, of course, but before that, how long did it take you to kind of really get your foot into the door of the industry?
It's a great question. Um, yeah, because I felt like it was like every year there was like a milestone project that really upped my game. And it was like one every single year. But it is different for everybody. But I just knew like it was like this year I was doing short film. This year I did three short films. Okay, this year I did my first feature film. Oh, I booked another feature film right after that. And then, oh, what's this? Okay, TV show, TV movie, and then wow, Walking Dead. So it was like very quickly um exponentially increasing. But also, I would like to also point out that that's also on top of years of violin, not just playing and rehearsing and performing, but also auditioning. So auditioning itself is its own game. And I felt like what really helped me in the acting world was after so many years of violin auditioning, which is also absolutely petrifying in a different way, um, because you're talking about perfect notes, like rhythm notes, good tone, like truly uh, like factually based things. Like, was this in tune? Yes or no? Did it have rhythm? Yes or no? Was it? So that's a different kind of audition. So when I transferred to acting, I was like fearless because there is no wrong in audition. You can't be wrong unless you shut yourself up. So as long as you're up and like activated and in the thing, accidents are like God's gift to you. in the moment. So that was so freeing just to be like, okay, well, I already went through 20 years of being ashamed for a mistake. So now I don't ever have to be ashamed about a mistake ever again. And that was like, you know, it's like when did you watch Naruto as a kid?
I saw like the first like 10 episodes, but then I was more of a Dragon Ball guy.
Totally fair. But do you remember when it was Rock Lee versus Gaara?
Uh, don't think so. No, I think that might have been. It has been a long time since I've seen
It's all good.
Naruto as well. Yeah.
So Rock Lee was this dude who had no talent, right? He was no talent, and he worked his ass off for his the physical. It's not so ninjutsu, genjutsu, taijutsu. So he was a taijutsu guy, which means he was a fist guy. So he was told that he had no talent in the other two, but he had taijutsu, which is the physical. So he trained his ass off. And he's fighting Gaara, who has one of the tailed beasts in him. So like, talking about in a symbolic fashion, you have a guy who has no talent, but he has incredible work ethic, paired up against a guy who has all natural talent, but he's never had to work at it. So these two guys are facing off. And there comes a point in the fight where Rock Lee takes off the weights that he had on his arms and legs and becomes like 20 times faster. And then you realize he's been walking burdened. So playing violin and transitioning to acting felt like me taking off the weights. And I was like, oh my God, I feel so light and I feel like I could do whatever. And I've just been like doing the wrong thing. And finally I'm doing that which like comes out of me so naturally. So that was probably the most long-winded answer you could have asked for, but I'm happy I gave it with such long wind.
And I'm happy that you gave it because oh geez, I'm getting choked up.
Yeah. Oh man.
Not actually, no. I just
Oh
stuck in my
man.
throat.
Dang it. Dang
I
it.
can be though. Maybe I am. No,
Good.
I'm acting.
Good.
That's good. But no, like that's the truth of it, man. That really, really is. I mean, like you really hit the nail right on the head. And kind of going back to what we said about being multifaceted and having multiple different skills and stuff like that really comes in handy. And
Yeah.
it could be a thing of like, okay, I don't have an acting gig, but I got a music gig that I can do, and blah 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 blah. And
Yeah.
I'm a trained violinist and stuff like that. And you also do lots of other instruments as well too, correct? Your piano, right?
Yeah, I play piano. I picked up guitar. I would say violin, piano, and then guitar was like the third. I'm always trying to learn new instruments too because you never know. I mean, there's actually it's really beautiful. It's called the duduk, and it's an Armenian flute made of apricot wood. And for a couple of years, I remember I even had one ordered while I was doing a production of Shakespeare in the park, and we were doing Pericles, and I was trying to like write music for each of the islands. And the one I really wanted to do was to have duduk. And then a story came out, I think around the same time or later that year, and you might be familiar with it. It's Frank Herbert's Dune. That came to the big screens. Did you see the Dune films?
Dune, no, I still that is on my bucket list though. I still
No.
have to see Dune. Yeah.
You haven't seen Dune?
No, I haven't seen it
No
yet.
way.
He just Logan just
No.
leaves the call right now.
Yeah, right, right. Yeah. Hey guys, hey chat. All right, we got
We're
no,
done.
yeah, yeah, you have to see Dune. Um, it's it's incredible. But the soundtrack has none other than Armenian flute, the duduk in it. And it creates that really like raspy kind of flute sound, and it's really like
Ooh.
yeah. I don't know. It probably is not doing the same, but it's like really like did you ever watch Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yu-Gi-Oh! Yep.
So in the original soundtrack, the like y'all move. But they have a duduk actually in that soundtrack too. And they use it a lot to create the Eastern sound. I mean, the Armenian is like Eastern European, but they use it a lot to create that like soundscape. So it's interesting stuff. And I've also never played like the mouth instruments except for like a recorder. So I wanted to like try to refine a mouth instrument, which is an awkward thing to say out loud, but
I was just saying. So, I picture someone's listening to this podcast in the car. Someone else
Yeah.
gets in the car and they just hear
Yeah.
that sentence and they're like, "What the fuck are you listening to?" That's all I'm picturing. I just like to put things in my mouth.
Yeah. Yup.
Oh
Yup.
God, this is so good. This is fantastic though, man. This is
Good.
truly fantastic. I feel like that we could go on about this and just the art and the craft and everything.
Yeah.
But before we sign off, Logan, I just want if you have any words or any pieces of advice that you want to give to our listeners, whether they're looking to break into the industry or they're thinking about it, what advice would you give to them?
Okay. There's going to be two pieces of advice. One of them is going to be very straightforward and also ironic, and then the other one is going to be classic, like what I was saying before. It's going to be roundabout, but you're going to understand the point. Um, hopefully. So the first piece of advice is to never accept unsolicited advice from anybody. If anybody feels like they can come into your life and give you a piece of advice without you asking for it, whatever they have to say, if you know, is a pure reflection of their own point of view on the world. And to only play with the idea and make it your own. Um, that's the first one. And the second one is as far as breaking into the industry. I used to have this daydream when I was in Pittsburgh, and I'd started as a dream, but it was a recurring dream, and I'll make it very truncated. But it was basically, I just remember it was like very dark orange sand, purple sky, stormy sky, lightning, rainy, and there was these like Tesla coils that were just like protruding out of the sand all over. And the lightning would strike and either go into a Tesla coil and people would run to the Tesla coil or it would strike somewhere like crowds of people would run to wherever the lightning would strike. And the dream would always end where the camera would like kind of pan down to the person who was sitting still and then the lightning would strike them. So what does that fucking mean? I mean, who knows? But no, but I think is if you want to break into the industry, there is like a path that you're walking with yourself, like know thyself kind of shit. The more you know yourself, the easier it is to break into the industry because it's more about like knowing your worth, your value, your uniqueness, and knowing how big that is and not apologizing for it. There you go.
That's perfect. That's really, really good, man. Logan, thank you so much for taking the time. Congratulations on all of your success,
Thanks,
and
sir.
very happy to see how things have been going for you. Where could people find you on social media, websites, and stuff like that?
Sure. My Instagram is at LuckyLogan11. My website
Website.
is my website. Very nice. My website is just my last name, Schmucker Logan at Gmail at just .com. Yeah, well, there you go. Now you know my email too. My
They
email's on
type
my website.
it. They type in that whole thing, Schmucker Logan
Schmucker
at
Logan.
no, and then they're like, I can't find it.
SchmuckerLogan.com. Um, I'm not much of a TikToker as of now, but I kind of want to make that a platform for little music things and breaking down movie music. So we'll see if I do something like that. Um, but yeah, there's that. And oh, and the anecdote. First of all, I wanted to say thank you again. While we're recording for having this beautiful podcast. That's a resource of knowledge and like merriment and inspiration and hope for other actors because we need it right now. And this is for everybody looking for a sign to keep going. Fucking keep going because we need you in the world to do this stuff. Um, also, I spent 6 months of my life in Toronto.
Oh, go away.
Yep, there.
Yes.
There you go. So I
So
just wanted
so
you to know
you're
that.
half Canadian then? Hey.
Yep. Hey, very Canadian. Hey, so I almost started saying sorry.
Oh,
And a boot, a boot. Sorry. I absolutely loved it. I was Dundas West. I was around
oh, go
that
away.
area.
Hey, really? Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're
Um,
but you're not from there though originally. You're
no,
from. You're from where are you from again? New York?
Ohio, just south.
Ohio.
Yep,
You're currently
just
in
south
New
of right
York
here.
though.
Yep, I'm in Brooklyn right now.
Yes, sir. Oh my God,
Okay.
geez, well look at that. We're
Yeah.
he Logan, you can't keep track of him, guys. He's literally next time we do the podcast, he's gonna be like in Alaska or something
I'll be in
like
Helsinki, baby.
that. There we go. That's a perfect. That's good. So I'll make sure to keep tabs on you.
Thank
Absolutely.
you, man.
But thank you again, man, for the conversation and best of luck. Hopefully, I'm hoping we get a Victor spinoff soon,
Oh
maybe.
man,
But
no way. Dead City Victor Tales. That'd be crazy. Or like imagine like a Disney Fantasia. You ever see Disney Fantasia with
oh
like the little
yes, yeah.
so imagine just like a wordless, like weird episode where it's just Victor playing music or like doing like the Master's Apprentice and he's like playing music and like controlling the zombies, you know what I mean? And they're like dancing and stuff and just like going through New York. Da-da-da-dum, ba-bum, ba-da-da-da-dum, ba-dum, da-da-da-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Eli
That's
Journay, if you're listening to this,
please. I think it would be such a hoot.
let's make this happen. Or JDM, if you're listening to this,
Yeah.
executive produce on it or something. Like, make it happen.
Let's run it back, baby.
Oh,
Holy shit, he's on the podcast.
yeah, right. Well, I told actually I posted a quick thing about this, but I had named that violin Ethel. So it's like Ethel and Lucille.
Oh shit. Oh
Like
Jesus.
Lucille Ball. Yeah, you know.
I like that a
Lucy,
lot.
you have some explaining to do. Yeah.
Hopefully in the show they didn't get rid of that violin. Hopefully they kept Ethel.
Oh, they shipped it to me.
Oh, they did. I mean, like
They
in the
gifted it to
show,
me.
like
Oh
in the
yeah.
show, like the character after he died, did Dama just chuck it out or what happened?
Oh, I'm so curious. I'm so curious.
See, that's why
Um,
we need a Victor spinoff to find out what's going on.
right, your mouth to God's ear.
Perfect. Anybody who's listening, we're gonna get some fan fiction and stuff like that.
Oh,
Someone's gonna write.
yeah.
Put that up next to the Maggie and Negan love
Yeah,
story.
right. Yep, yep. Soundtrack of love.
That's a big one. Guys, thank you so much for listening to the show today. We will see you guys in the next episode. But until then, this is Frankie and Logan Schmucker signing off. Cheers, Ben.
All right, cheers. Take care, guys.